All right, so we ready to go? We're rolling. So,
Not recording.
are we rolling tape? Okay.
It is? I didn't see the.
All the board members ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, so let's call this meeting to order, special meeting for the Amador County Board of Supervisors for Friday, December 31st at 10 a.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, thank you. Public matters not on the agenda. These are discussion items only. No action will be taken. Any person may address the board at this time upon any subject within the jurisdiction of the Amador County Board of Supervisors. However, any matter that requires action may be referred to staff and/or committee for a report and recommendation for possible action at a subsequent board meeting. Please note there is a three-minute time limit per topic. Supervisor Brown.
Yeah, this Supervisor Brown, I'd like to commend, Sheriff Redmond for all his work on getting the, warming station started up at, Mace Meadows. Beth Stanton from the food bank is also gonna be helping, getting some food up there. We've got the Red Cross, bringing stuff, organizing and helping, and social services. So it's, and Chief White's been all involved with it, but it's been an incredible get-together of everybody to help out with this. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks. That sounds great. I'm glad we have that warming station open.
It'll be open at noon, if I may add.
Noon today, okay.
Noon today.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a war zone up there.
It is a very huge war zone up there.
Reminds me of 1997. I think there might be more trees down this time. There's a lot of trees.
I was driving around yesterday. I watched a top of a tree break off. It just snapped and came down. And as I'm watching it, it actually flew sideways, bounced onto the wires, which of course they're off, so they didn't do anything, and did a trampoline, and then went across the road into the neighbor's property.
Great.
Well, I was talking to a lady, and she lived up here, I think it was 7 years or 5 years, but been up here for 30 years, but living full time. She went and rented a motel room. She had one come down, go spear her garage and go through that almost the floor. And then she got a video, another one fell out, another top fell out and went right through her son's vehicle, speared it. I mean, one person had two of them, so I think she said she had enough and she went and she left. Anyway, also, there's a fellow I know down in Volcano. He's a contractor, and he's a pretty much a go-getter, hard-working guy. And he's, hey, you need to let your road crew know that they really is kicking rear. He says they were doing an awesome job. And for him to say that, that was really impressive, because he's one of those guys who just goes out and tears things up in a good way. So he was impressed. So I'd like to.
Yeah, I think the road crews should be commended. They've really been on top of this. I know they've had a lot on their plate, and they've done a really fabulous job of getting the roads plowed, sometimes multiple times. I know they plowed mine twice, at least. So anyhow, I'd like to say thanks to them, especially in this holiday season. So, any other public comment? Any Zoomers?
Not at this time.
Okay. Looking for approval of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Brown, second by Supervisor Neto to approve the agenda. All in favor? Oh, Heather, you're going to have to do a roll call vote because Supervisor Forster's on Zoom.
Thank you. Chairman Axe?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Forster?
Aye.
Supervisor Brown?
Yes.
Supervisor Oneto?
Aye.
And Supervisor Crew?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to the regular agenda. This is item 1A, ratification of a proclamation of emergency for the December 2021 winter storm. And this is a proclamation sent out by the Sheriff's Office by Sheriff Redmond, and we have our own resolution ratifying that. there any discussion?
Yeah, I have one question. I'm sure it's probably covered. Do we need to put anything in there about the county having some extraordinary expenses with private contractors and along that line? We don't, do we?
I don't think that needs to be in the declaration, so.
Just kind of a blanket declaration.
So your so the sheriff's, emergency declaration sort of talks about the circumstances of it, and then your ratification that I just handed out, does refer to the sheriffs, and then all that will come, because you won't know all the costs that you have yet, so you don't need to include that.
Yeah, okay.
They have already asked us to give us an estimate of costs, so, we'll be wrapping all that in there.
Well, one thing, in the resolution I just, prepared this morning, that there's a little discrepancy. We may need to amend, the ordinance that you have in front of you. If you look at the sheriff's declaration, it says it needs to be reaffirmed every 14 days. And the template I had talked about every 30 days. So we may want to change that to 14 just so we don't miss it.
In our resolution?
On the
resolution, at the bottom, last sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
oh, yeah,
when we
there's-
add in that aspect, we're not gonna have another meeting in 14 days from now. How does that work?
Have a special meeting?
You may need to have a special meeting if you need to continue it past another 14 days.
Yeah, or we could do a blue
Well,
slip on it.
No, there's a conflict here. Because you look at the first paragraph, is a subject to ratification of Board of Supervisors within 7 days and reaffirmation every 14 days thereafter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you look at the declaration, the resolution that I prepared for you,
Okay,
and the therefore paragraph, that last sentence, the Board of Supervisors shall review the need for continuing, and then there's a typo, should say the
Yeah.
local
I just
emergency.
caught that, yeah.
You know what we can do, just to, and then we'll look up the requirement, is just strike that whole last sentence. Doesn't need to be in there, that's just whatever the requirement is in the statute. If it's 14 days, we'll bring it back, and if it's 30 days, then we'll have 30 days.
Okay.
So
That'd
just
be
strike
helpful.
that last sentence altogether
Okay.
of your resolution.
All right. Any other discussion, questions from the board?
I don't have any discussion, Chair Axe, but I do have a comment that just thank you to all the first responders, and thank you to Walt White, AFPD Chief, for requesting this to be done.
You're here.
Yes.
Any public comment? Have one Zoomer? Okay. Well, I'm looking for a motion with the changes.
Motion with the, changes of the, resolution 21.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Brown, second by Supervisor Crew to approve the resolution ratifying the proclamation from the sheriff's office. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You have to do a roll call.
Oh, right.
Thank you, Chairman Axe,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Forster,
Aye.
Supervisor Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Onetto,
Aye.
and Supervisor Crew.
Aye.
And with that, I believe we are adjourned until next week on the 4th or the 5th. Next Tuesday. All right, it says the 25th here, but anyhow, thank you all for coming, and have a happy new year. We'll see you next year. Go Michigan.